Captain Pruance Dice commands our investigative bureau. To his left is Sergeant Jason Florians from our Criminal Investigation Division. He's actually our acting lieutenant there. And then Deputy Chief Adam Kistart's with me as well. So I'll just kind of go over the shooting on early morning for you, give you a general statement about that, what we've done thus far with that, and then maybe some additional comments about public safety and some steps that we're taking to try to ensure that this doesn't happen again. So as you all know, early morning hours of May 24th at about 2:05 a.m., our patrol officers responded along with the Volusia County Sheriff's Office to reports of a shooting at McCabe's bar located here in DeLand. Upon arrival, our officers located a 9mm shell casing and observed a bullet hole in the exterior wall of the establishment. No injuries were reported, thankfully. Our Criminal Investigation Division responded immediately, and they began interviews with witnesses and the victim. Through that course of that investigation, the suspect was identified as Calvin Roosevelt Gilbert, a 55-year-old male and regular customer at that bar. According to witness accounts, the victim and Gilbert had been drinking inside the bar. Although they did not know each other previously, they got into an argument around closing time, and Gilbert demanded repayment for a beer that the victim had bought, or that he had bought the victim, and for about $5. And an argument escalated outside in the rear parking lot. And surveillance footage and witness statements confirmed that Gilbert, standing about 40 feet away, approached the victim, removed a black handgun from his satchel, and fired a single shot at close range, approximately 3 feet from the victim's head. The victim managed to duck and avoid being hit. The bullet hit an exterior cooler, penetrated the wall, entered an occupied area of the building, and then Gilbert fled on foot to the front of the bar. He entered a 1999 Nissan Quest van, which is registered to him, drove northbound on North Amelia Avenue. This entire sequence of events was captured on the business's security cameras. An extensive search was launched for him, and the suspect's vehicle was entered into various databases as a felony vehicle that police were interested in. On Sunday morning, May 25th, at about 11:52 a.m., our detectives received information that Gilbert was in the Daytona Beach area. Surveillance teams observed him traveling westbound on ISP back toward DeLand, accompanied by his girlfriend. With assistance from the Volusia County Sheriff's Office, Air 1, Gilbert was taken into custody without incident. He declined to speak with detectives and invoked his right to legal counsel. He was arrested subsequently, and he's charged with attempted first-degree murder using a firearm while under the influence of alcohol. Following his arrest, a search warrant was executed at his residence located at 2469 West Orange Avenue. During the search, detectives recovered multiple firearms, including what we believe is the weapon used in the shooting. His vehicle was also recovered. We're currently working with the state attorney's office to pursue any additional charges, including shooting into an occupied dwelling. I want to thank the detectives and Acting Lieutenant Florians for his work and his detectives' hard work. They worked around the clock, and within 34 hours, we had this individual in custody. It's an outstanding job by them. I want to thank our partners with the Volusia County Sheriff's Office as well that assisted us. It was a complete team effort. Very proud of the work that they did to get this person into custody in such a short amount of time. We also want to extend our appreciation to people in our community and to witnesses who cooperated fully with us, and they helped bring the suspect into custody very quickly without any further danger to the public. I do want to comment that I've been in touch with the attorney for the landowner, the property owner that owns that strip, and these individuals that run McCabe's bar have already been served with a notice of violation of lease, and they are going to be required to change their hours of operation, I'm being told. I also suggested to them that they hire security, bonded security, and screen everybody coming in to the bar for firearms for the foreseeable future. They have been very cooperative with us, and I believe that they will follow through with that. We have also, from a regulatory oversight, we contacted the Florida Department of Business and Professional Regulations. They've been notified, since you all know this is the second incident we've had at McCabe's Bar in about a month. And they will be reviewing McCabe's liquor license in light of these incidents. I want to reinforce our primary concern is public safety. We are always working to maintain a safe environment for our residents, visitors, and our business owners. We realize that people are concerned about these two incidents at McCabe's Bar. We are too. We take it very seriously. I want to also reiterate that this incident is not at all related to the first incident. There's no correlation between the two of those incidents. You know, at the end of the day, gun violence is a very complex issue, and we're going to do everything in our power to prevent violence and hold offenders accountable. Individuals who choose to unlawfully carry and use these firearms are ultimately responsible for their actions. And we will arrest them, use every tool at our disposal to arrest them and bring them to justice, as you see we did within 34 hours in this instance. And that couldn't have occurred without outstanding police work that was done. I want to reiterate that. Our people did an outstanding job. I think that concludes what I have to say. Does anybody have any questions?
We've heard, obviously, rumors from people in the community that there's drug activity at this bar. Do you guys have reports of drug dealing going on there?
I don't believe we've had any independent reports of that occurring prior to this event. I don't know if they've received any information since then, but to my knowledge, no.
And then we had these two incidents this month, but could you talk about before this month, how often were you, or if any time you were responding to this establishment? Or did this just become a problem?
As far as I know, we haven't had any issues at McCabe's Bar. I've been chief of police here for 8 years. It's the first time that name has ever been brought to my attention. It was that homicide, and then, of course, this incident. So I did not do any research or, on any calls that we may have received around that bar, but to my knowledge, no. This is the first two incidents. Of course, they're serious incidents and they're cause for concern, but that we've had there.
If you could give reaction, I know when we saw that this, allegedly happened over an argument about a $5 drink, and that it escalated to this point when this report came across your desk, your reaction to these circumstances?
Again, I don't understand people's proclivity for first of all, carrying firearms into a bar is illegal in the state of Florida. And solving arguments with firearms is not the answer, obviously. Whatever their dispute was over this $5 drink, it's just ridiculous to think that it ended up in a person nearly losing their life over something so ridiculous. There's no reason for that. Other than each individual's personal actions. And like I said, when people break the law, we're going to be there and we're going to address it appropriately. We're going to take all steps that we can and we have ongoing patrols. We have a special enforcement team that's been out since the homicide, that's been working extra details and evenings along with our partners with the Volusia County Sheriff's Office to try to interdict as many illegal firearms that are being carried throughout our city as possible. We've had some good success in the last month, arresting numerous offenders, taking some firearms off the street that were being illegally carried, and we're going to continue to do that. We're going to continue to make DeLand a safe place to live. We believe it's a safe place to live, and we're going to continue to work hard to continue to make it safe.
Do you guys have like someone like at the bar overnight or something like that, like just stationed there?
Do we have, no, we do not have anybody there. Of course, since we've had these incidents, our patrol supervisors, I'm sure, are deploying people in and around that area to make sure that, that bar is as safe as it can be.
And I think we all kind of know the answer to this, but you said that you're requiring them to change the hours of operation. What would that do, or kind of how would that help?
Well, we aren't requiring that. The owners of the bar, they have a lease, an agreement with the management of McCabe's bar, and I'm being told they're in violation of some of these parts of the lease, and the ownership is going to demand that the hours of operation change. And what I was told was, right now McCabe's operates till 2 in the morning. They're going to scale that back and make them close at 10 or 11 in the evening, is what I was told.
Was the gun legal, and was he even allowed to have a firearm?
That's a good question.
So right now, the gun is being tested for forensics. Once we establish that information about the weapon, we will. But I can tell you, he was prior military, so he was, based on our information, he was allowed to have the weapon.
Any priors?
No priors, sir.
Can you clarify just a little bit? I know that he allegedly shot at the person, that person ducked. You said it hit a cooler and it went through the cooler and then hit the building in an area where people weren't?
It struck an exterior cooler, I think, at the exterior of the building.
Correct.
It's probably air conditioning cooler.
It is a cooler. It's a refrigerator.
Refrigerator.
It's attached to the building that they walk in and out of.
Apparently went through that or ricocheted through that, penetrated a wall, and entered an occupied area of the building. Didn't hit anybody, but entered.
Entered an occupied area?
Yes,
Yes.
it was recovered inside.
Correct. There's a bullet fragments which were recovered from inside the cooler.
Anything else?
Good.
All right,
Thank you.
outstanding. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah, we can show you, I'm gonna say.
Are we going to move this way?